Why do people hate their cars? Maybe it's nickel and diming them to death. Maybe it needs some repairs, or maybe you just hate the vehicle that you drive every day. Well, there's some new reasons that some people hate cars in general, and we'll discuss that. Stay right with us. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Lauren Fix, and this is 4 Minute Friday, and here's what's going on in your automotive world. This week's segment is brought to you by wheelwish.com. If you're looking for a deal on a vehicle, check wheelwish.com. Save money, save time, and buy your vehicle online. Let's put 4 minutes on the clock. Why do people hate their cars so much? Well, not everybody, but some people purchase cars that are used and they need a lot of repairs. And I just had a phone call today from a good friend of mine in California who was saying, I got to get rid of this car. It's just killing me. It's a money pit. And then she, of course, asked me about vehicles that were bigger money pits. So you have to do your homework, and we've discussed that in other videos. However, there are some other reasons people hate their cars. Some people, of course, it's repairs. Maybe they feel that every time they walk on the lot, that salesperson, new or used, is sticking it to them. They're screwing them. That buyer's remorse when you walk away going, I bought too much car. I can't believe I'm making payments that I can't even afford. That may be the case. However, there are other reasons. Sometimes it's your insurance rates. Sometimes it's the repair costs where you foolishly walk in and say, I don't know anything about cars. Could you fix it for me? Oh yeah, I'll take care of you. I got the repair for you. I'll get the bill for you too. And then you end up leaving your checkbook behind. But here's something you probably didn't think about and why some people, not all, some people hate their vehicles. Some surveys say that it's millennials. They don't want to buy cars. They want to use ride-share apps and car share apps. Well, that works fine until you have a family or you need to make a shopping trip to Costco and you realize, I honestly would like to have my own vehicle. And we're seeing a rise in millennials purchasing vehicles. Great, or leasing them for that matter. Then there are those people that say, I don't want to do that. That doesn't make it for me. I don't want public transportation. I want to use these little scooters, the electric scooters. Well, I've talked about electric scooters and there's a lot of problems with them, and you can check out the video that we've brought to you about that. And boy, did that create a lot of hype on a global basis. But then there are people who say, I don't want any of that. I want to walk, I want to use a bicycle. But then there are some that just take it too far. Well, we saw that this week at the Frankfurt Auto Show. This week, they have increased security at the Frankfurt Auto Show. This is a huge global show that brings some wonderful reveals. They brought the Land Rover Defender out. Porsche had some new vehicles. Mercedes had some new vehicles. That's awesome. But there is a group that doesn't like vehicles at all. It's called Rocks in Gearbox. They've wrecked over 40 high-end vehicles, such as Land Rovers and Jaguars and Audis and Aston Martins. Why would they do that? They've wrecked the bodywork, crashed the windows, and even lit some vehicles on fire. Are they crazy? Well, in my book, they are. But what doesn't make sense, they are demanding no more cars at all. No more vehicles of any type, not just combustion engines. So the green people of the world may say, well, what about battery powered? It's a great solution. This group doesn't want battery-powered vehicles either because they say it's child labor, it's destroying the earth, there are rare earth minerals, and I've discussed that as well. And that has also been a very big conversation in the auto industry, and we're trying to find solutions, but these people have gone way too far. They want to destroy the Frankfurt Auto Show for consumers. This is obviously a problem.
One's going to find out about this one. I'm just going to pick it now. Mr. Muller said it was okay as long as no one finds out about
it. Is okay. Thank you very much.
But I think what you should think about more than just the protesting and the destruction of private property, they're not going to get rid of the automobile. That is not going to work by beating people up and destroying cars and causing havoc. None of that stuff ever works. It's great for the press, but for you and I and for auto manufacturers, it's not going to change things. But there are some facts that these people aren't thinking about, and that is jobs and how the auto industry impacts everyone on a global basis. The German auto industry has even tried to sit down with these people, put them on panels, have discussions, just so they can understand where everyone's coming from. Why? Because in the country of Germany, there are 4 major brands. Volkswagen Group, which encompasses Porsche, Audi, VW, as well as Skoda, Seat, and a bunch of other brands, but you also get BMW and Mercedes. And so you start thinking about the brands that give jobs. 1 in 7 people are employed through the auto industry. That's not even including the sub-brands, the lawyers, the marketing companies, the accountants, the food prep people, the dry cleaners, and everyone else that's impacting the auto industry. So if they were to remove the auto industry completely from the country of Germany, that would be pretty stupid because they would have no exports then, because their number one export is cars, automobiles. They're sold here, they're sold everywhere around the world. And just to give you a frame of reference, in the United States, half of the Dow Jones is impacted by the auto industry, which is why the past administration bailed out General Motors. I was against that, but I understand why it was done because of the impact to the economy, which affects jobs. What's interesting is you think, well, everyone can use public transportation if you agree with this group, which I still think they're crazy. If you think public transportation is the answer, well then where are they going to get the tax dollars if half of the Dow Jones is impacted here in the US or 1 out of 7 jobs or more is impacted in Germany? That means there's no money going into the government in order to pay for public transportation. These are things that no one thinks about. Do you know why we learn history? So we don't repeat it. After World War II, Germany was devastated. People were riding bicycles. Then they started motorizing bicycles. Then motorcycles became popular. We know a lot of German brands that were there. And eventually, Volkswagen and other companies started to evolve, and the car manufacturing industry took years and decades to build to what it is today, which is helping the economy of Germany and, of course, the EU. Keep this in mind, that if you were to eliminate all vehicles, you're not just eliminating your transportation, you're eliminating tax dollars going to the government, which affects all the social programs that people want, includes the police, the fire department, ambulances, all the things that are funded that we love, including schools. That's a huge problem because if no one's got money to spend, you can walk wherever you need to go, but you won't have money to buy anything. The car is here to stay. Love it or not, you choose your propulsion. I like diesel and gas. Maybe you like plug-in hybrid or electric. That's your choice. There'll be other choices coming. Compressed natural gas. There'll be propane. There'll be other really cool technologies coming your way in the very near future. But don't take away people's public transportation. Don't take away their freedom to go wherever they want, whenever they want. I've discussed a lot of these subjects, and of course we reviewed a lot of vehicles of all different proportions, including the Porsche Taycan, which we were just at the reveal. Very cool. All that's over here. All the social media is down below, and I'd love to hear your take on what you think about the auto industry and about cars, and if you love them or not. We're curious to hear what you have to say. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.